back, guys. We are filming on a Monday, which is unusual for us. Typically, we don't do this, but here we are. This past weekend, you might have seen on our social media pages that we went to the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. That was amazing. I'm so excited for you all to see our vlog that will come out in a little bit. We'll have more information. We'll have more information about when the vlog is coming out within the next couple of days here. So stay tuned and turn on your post notifications for that. Leave a like on this video. Comment on this video if you attended the Freedom 250 Grand Prix, because we would love to hear how your experience went and compare it to ours as well. Also, don't forget to check out our links in the description below for our other social media pages. We have Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, the whole shebang. And if you don't feel like watching this video, you can always listen to it through Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So without further ado, this week's episode, we are reacting to the IndyCar Freedom 250 event. We are going to talk about our experience and things that we enjoyed, things that we think could change, and just give you a little insight into the event and how our time was. So to start off, Julie, do you want to give your initial reaction to it?
Oh, what part? Just when we first got there? Because when we first got there, the feeling was so surreal. Just hearing the cars and then seeing them go by. It was like you watch it on your phone and stuff, and you know it's loud. It's gonna be if you were there in person, it's gonna be chaotic. But being there in person and just feeling it go by, hearing it go by, seeing it go by literally a few feet in front of you is so surreal, so cool. It was a little chaotic in the beginning just because we had no idea where we were going. And I don't even think we filmed that, but we kind of got lost trying to get into the race. We found our way thanks to Meg, who will be in the vlog. You'll see her. But I don't know, it was just I literally, it didn't fully hit me until I think we finally made it to the zone where it had the food and the merchandise, and you could see the Capitol and the monuments and the museums, and you're just in the middle of all of it, and you're hearing the cars go by, seeing people you usually see on your phone or TV, interviewing people, and you're like, yo, it's them. And seeing, I don't know, it was kind of insane.
No, it really was. And we didn't video this.
So,
but walking into the track, literally, I kid you not, I was jumping. I was so excited. Yeah. I kept hitting Julie. I was like, oh my gosh, guys, this is the opposite reaction to when I saw Pato's IndyCar when I went to LA. I did not cry. I did not cry this time. I really enjoyed it. It was so cool, and to be at the first one ever is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And it might be the only
That was yeah, that, and the fact that kind of hit me too. I was just like, yo, this could be the only time this happens. Right. And they ain't do it in the next 250 years. I mean, they might, but I'm not going to be here for that.
Right. Right. It was really cool, and I'm so glad that we did end up using Saturday to kind of walk around the track and check out the different sites. I mean, we didn't really watch practice 2 at all. We saw snips of it here and there, but we spent that predominantly in the Smithsonian, which that was a nice break from the humidity,
the chaos,
and being on our feet.
And you could still even though you couldn't really see the race there, I think I took pictures and videos, but there was you could find sections in the Smithsonian, they had like curtains and stuff, but you could still see the cars going by, and we would like watch from there. And then
Yeah.
we also had our phones with us, so we would just like keep track of what was happening through our phones. But like to have like a little break here and there, especially because like it was the first day, so it was kind of chaotic everywhere you went.
Yeah.
And y'all, I should have gotten a video of the line to the signings. Like, signings weren't even happening for another hour to an hour and a half. And we were going to look at like merch and stuff. And first, I thought the line was for, was it the McLaren Arrow? And I was like, yo, why are there so many people lined up? But then we realized it was not the line. That was insane. I was like, I don't think we're getting merch signed
Yeah,
today.
well, no, they had the merch signings, like, here at this point, and the line,
Mm-hmm.
I saw pictures of it from the page, and there was, like, a queue that was, like, wrapping around, but then once you got out of that, it literally wrapped around, like, the entire intersection of the mall on that grass plot that it was on, and, like, even from there, it was, like, here, and then it, like, wrapped around the back. And when we ended up going to get food. I saw a sign in the middle that was like, "Sorry, the autograph line is closed. We can't guarantee any more
Yeah.
signatures." And I was like, "Oh, I wonder how long that's been out for." Because that was out when did we get food? Like, little bit after noon?
I want to say it was, I feel like it was like maybe an hour after we got merch.
Yeah, so around noon-ish.
Cause we got the merch and then like we decided we would like kind of walk around to figure out what we wanted to do, and then after a little bit we decided let's just eat because we're all hungry and a little hangry. So we had to try and figure out what we were gonna eat. But yeah, that was insane. Like just walking up onto it and just seeing that line, I was like, and we didn't even know what the line was for at first. M's dad had to walk all the way up to see
Poor
like
guy.
where it started. And that was a good walk. I'm not gonna lie. Like the like middle area was huge. Like you had these tents up where you could sit and eat. They had a whole bunch of picnic tables, games out. They had some big TVs that you could watch the race if you didn't want to go and like sit next to a track and watch, which I thought was kind of nice, especially if you don't want to have to, because it got crowded. If you found a good spot, you weren't going to be the only one there.
Yeah,
Trust me.
100%.
Which that was another thing. I don't like crowds, and whew, that was crowded. I
Well,
was
and
like,
I will
the
say,
weasel
I
in me
do
came out.
think that Saturday there was significantly less people than
Less.
Sunday, and I'm interested in seeing, like, why that was. Like, did people just apply for a weekend pass and then not use the Saturday pass? Or, like, what what
Well,
attribute.
I heard these people talking about how they only came for the beginning of the day and then left and went did things out in DC, or they hung out in the museums because no one really cares about qualifying. I guess that's what I was getting from them. I like qualifying, but
Yeah.
I guess they just were like, it's whatever. But like race day is the big day. It's like everyone, you have to be there for that. Even though I think half of them like that F1 comment, I was like, dude, I'm like, that's the one thing that irritated me. There was clearly people there that were just there because they got tickets, but they didn't know what was going on at all.
Right. That and I understand you're gonna get that almost anywhere you go.
Yeah.
But at that
Hmm.
point, it's like, why don't you at least try to learn something?
Read up on
It
it.
was really that was really driving me up the walls. I'm not gonna
And
lie.
these were people that had great tickets, like, and were getting there like right before it opened, so like they would get like the grandstand seats, and they're in the grandstand like, hey, do you know what's happening like right now? Like, what's going on? Like what?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I guess it's like a pet peeve of mine is like people getting the best experience without knowing what's happening, and not really caring either. They're just there for the pictures
Right, well,
and
like,
the
the people that were behind us when we were watching qualifying, like, they
Mhm.
were just identifying the drivers by their sponsors, and I was like,
Yeah, that
"Bro, stop."
they
Like
were just like the Splenda car, okay? That's what they
right,
kept saying. I'm rooting for the Splenda car, and I'm like, do you know who that is?
yeah.
Like, you just rooting for them because it's Splenda? Which, who roots for Splenda? No hate, but like, Splenda gives me a migraine. But that's besides the point. But
But it was
I was
just
just like,
so annoying. I was like, "Why don't you look up who the driver is and then start saying the driver's name?"
yeah. There was someone who showed up during the actual race itself, like race day. They were that couple beside us, and they were like, "So who's all racing today? Were you not here yesterday? Were you
Did you
not
not
doing
bother
like?"
looking at the drivers?
Yeah, and so I saw them. They had looked up like who were driving, and they were like, "So like who's who? Like who's driving what car?" And I was like, "It says what car they're driving. What do you mean?"
There's a spotter's guide for a reason.
I was like, yeah, and you know what? Like, I know there are people who go with people who are like Meg was asking questions about everything, but she wanted to know. Like, she
Yeah,
clearly was interested in learning like about the drivers and stuff. But there were clearly people there just for like
to be there.
taking a picture just to
Yeah.
be there. Like they said they were there, which I get that full. I just was like, for me, I have to do research, and I still can't remember names. I'm bad at names. You guys know this, but
Don't
I
worry.
will do my
I
research so I can figure it out. Plus, M helps me,
got
and so I don't know. But other than that whole debacle, I think we had a good race weekend. But let me tell you, I can insert the pictures here. The amount of steps we got
insane.
was like insane. And before you runners or people who are on your feet all day, I get it. You guys get a lot of steps. You don't have to like come in the comments be like, you don't step that much. Yes, babe, I don't.
For
I
my
get
race
like
of the
5,000,
day.
6,000 steps a day. I don't get 14,000 steps a day.
Right. Me either.
But in my defense, the difference, also the reason we didn't get to the track as early as everyone else did on the first day is because I was flying in that morning. Em and her dad were driving in, Meg was driving in. We were all gonna get there not before 8 o'clock in the morning, to be honest. I got there
Well,
before
we
8, but that's
didn't
just
even
because of
have
my
to be
flight.
there at 8. Like, even when we got there at like 9:30 after practice had started, they actually ended up extending that practice a little bit and they ran
Yeah.
2 groups. So, I mean, it was still good, don't get me wrong. Got to see the car, but like literally it was very empty and I'm
Mhm.
actually glad that we ended up where we were because it was cool because we were
Yeah.
up at turn 2. Um,
Mhm.
Scott McLaughlin crashed in the race. That's where we were to start Saturday, and that was really cool. And then for practice 2, we kind of walked down to the Smithsonian and saw a little bit
Yeah.
there for the IROC stuff. And then practice 2, we watched a bit from the Smithsonian, and then it was on to qualifying, and we kinda walked back up to turns 3 and 4, and we were, like, right
Mhm.
before turn 4, and that was cool to watch the line going in of each of the drivers, and from that
Yeah.
perspective where we were and you can put videos here, like, seeing how close the drivers were to the wall there was pretty
Yeah.
but then for the race, we went and we sat on the other side where the long main straight was off of turn
Mhm.
4, and that was also cool because I could tell from where we were sitting in qualifying, like, I was just watching the cars snap a little bit, but to be able to
Mhm.
have the other perspective of what it looks like from the front to see the car snap, I have a new appreciation for the drivers and how they drive, and I know a lot of them coming out and saying how challenging it was, especially with the barriers being concrete and you just
Yeah.
felt kinda cagey, but
Mhm.
it was really cool to watch, but I think my favorite part of it was qualifying, if I'm being honest. So
I liked where we were for qualifying. I liked that area. We were right up on the gate too, so it wasn't like we were having to fight people to like see it. We were literally on the gate. I liked how close we were to. I felt closer to them for some reason at that gate than I did at the other gate, but again, I was having to like push people out of the way so I could see. Short people problems. And it wasn't as hot over there as it was where we were. Even when the sun did come out, like you had some shade too.
yeah.
But they were so close to the wall, like a brick, like the cement wall barrier stressed me out because I feel like more damage can happen from those than, like the tire walls. So I was scared someone was gonna have like a really bad accident with the walls and how kind of cagey it was. Luckily, everyone was okay with the incidents we had, but I was getting a little nervous. But they were literally like right there. I was like, you do have that space between you and the wall for them. But even then, I was like, you don't, it's a very short distance if you think about it. So that was really cool. I definitely enjoyed that side more than I enjoyed the side we were on the other day. But I don't know. A lot happened. I will say one thing that irritated me this weekend was the water. Like the water decisions they made with how we could get water to drink. Because I don't mind like them being like, please, like they suggested bringing a clear water bottle. I didn't have a clear water bottle, so I was like, I'll just buy one and use that the rest of the weekend. And the first day was fine. Like they had those the buffalo stations, if you will, where you can fill your water bottles up. They had a ton of them. But yesterday, towards the afternoon, where it was like really hot outside, the race was happening, there was not really any shade. I went to go refill my water bottle. All of them were empty to the point they had tipped them sideways to get the last bit of water out. And even like the stations where you could wash your hands, no water. There was one station I found that had a little bit of water, so I just like quickly like washed my hands and just like did my face because it was so hot. That was an issue personally for me because I was just like, this is not the day to run out of water. Yesterday, because it was cloudy, you could get water, like you had more access to water, so the day like Saturday wasn't really an issue. But Sunday, because it was so hot, there was no shade, it was super sunny. I feel like that was kind of like a hiccup on their part, and not everyone wants to buy another $4 water.
Yeah, well,
And
not
for me, I didn't
only
have my wallet
that,
or my phone.
even when we left, like, we saw all those crates of water.
They had all the free water.
Right. So it's like, well, why
Like,
didn't we
so why
just
don't
make it
give
a
out?
little bit more accessible inside? And I get,
Yeah.
like, there's only a certain amount or whatever, but still, seeing
Hmm.
all that water, when we're walking out, it's like,
Yeah, I
really?
think what should have happened when they ran out of water with the water troughs and washing your hands and everything like that, they needed to start giving out, like, just give out the cheap water bottles so people can at least. I ended up going into the art gallery, which kudos to them. I went into the art gallery museum and they had a little water fountain and I filled my water bottle up there. But it was just like, that's not something you should run out of. And like I get people will drink like soda and stuff, but as a nurse, I'm like, you really need to focus on getting water during this heat. And there was not a lot of access to it unless you wanted to pay another $4.50 for a water bottle. That's not really gonna last you because you're gonna drink it all. So that irritated me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have beef with that for a couple years.
Well, I'm gonna add to your irritations, and I think for me, one of the things that I was expecting is to see more of the big, like, TV screens. Like, I thought for
Yeah,
sure where we were standing, there would've
there
been
would be one.
one, like, either behind us or in front of us in the other section,
Yeah,
and there was none. Like, it seemed to me like the only big screens were actually in the middle where all the food and
and there was only like
everything
two of them.
was. Yeah, and that's not typically how it looks at
Oh
other
no,
track.
there was three.
So I was like, I thought for sure there would, be a screen that I could
Be
be
more
able to watch
access.
and see the times and stuff on it, but I couldn't, so I had to keep using my phone, and then I was draining my
Phone,
phone
yeah.
battery, and then it was just like
Yeah.
my phone was overheating, and then I couldn't get it to charge, and it was like, "Okay, well, this isn't really helpful." And, like, that's one thing that
No.
I was saying to my dad is that, like, to me, watching it, I like having the information that the broadcast provides, like, with the timings and what
Yeah.
tire everyone's on. Like, to me, I was looking and I just couldn't keep track of who has what. And so I couldn't, like, predict the strategy of, like, what the next tire they were gonna jump onto was or when people should start to pit besides semi listening to the broadcast that was available.
Yeah.
But even then, you couldn't hear it that much. You could only
Mm-mm.
hear it every now and then.
And
And then,
like,
like go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say, like, all of us are wearing earplugs. There were some people that weren't, but like, even with the earplugs in, like, I would take them out to maybe like hear what they would be saying. And of course, like my phone, like I'd have to have it right here. Like, even if they needed better speakers or they needed to add a few more TVs, just on like, cause like, like where we were, like when we first got
Yeah.
there was no TVs there. Like, you can't really see what's happening.
Yeah, but that is turn 2, so that would've been helpful for me because you had more of an area to
Yeah.
watch, and then I could have seen the tires and everything.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and it was under a tree.
Yeah. So like I feel like there should have been more TVs, should have been better access to water or at least managing the water. The security was great. Security, it made sense. But there was so much like that irritated me because there were so many pallets of like Dasani water and like off-brand water. I say off brand because I'm like, it's the random brand you get, like the Dollar General, like that brand, just chilling there, doing nothing with it while we're all trying to get access to more water without having to pay another $4 for it. So I feel like the water management should have been better. Grandstands irritated me too because
Yeah.
they were very limited and like, I respect the fact that they would save your seat. So, like, if you had to get up and go to the bathroom, they would be kind of like, will save your seats, but also it
Yeah.
was weird because people would leave and they would let a couple people on the grandstands, but then people would come back, and then it's just like, so who are you letting keep their spots and who are you letting get off so we can add more people? And so there was limited access to grandstands, which there were some areas where I'm like, we totally could have put another grandstand here.
Right, me too. I
And
was thinking the
it
same
didn't have to be
thing.
a big one. It could have just been like maybe a
A
four.
simple 3, 4-row one.
Yeah. So like that irritated me too because I'm like, where we were for the race day, they had these little
That
like
would have been a
ramps that you could
perfect
kind of.
area to extend the
Yeah,
grandstand or even just add its own little section. So I would be
its own little
curious to
section.
see
Yeah.
if this event does end up happening again, if it would
Hmm.
be possible, I don't know, like a Lando stand type situation where you know,
Yeah.
it's a driver is really popular in that area, if
Hmm.
they can end up, maybe we get a Kyle Kirkwood grandstand
Hmm.
right there.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Again, I don't know all the logistics behind it, but to me that'd be pretty cool. I would show up in Kyle merch.
Yeah. And then like I get like it was for general admission, so anyone could get in the grandstands. You just had to be the first people there. But also I'm like, maybe they should just do tickets for grandstands because at that point, oh, I didn't get a ticket for it. I'm not even gonna worry about standing in line, hoping and praying I might get to get on the grandstand, you know?
Well, not even
Because
that, but
that
if
irritated me.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say like you would get in line and this line was huge and you would get a little bit further up, but usually that's because people just got out of the line because there was no chance. And then you would like get up there and they'd be like, yeah, so it's probably gonna be like an hour before you can even sit down because like, these people have been here all day, they're not leaving. Or they're like just sending one person out of their group to leave. So it's just like it's like a literally like a 10% chance you might get on the grandstand. And then if you have a big group with you, you probably ain't getting there. And we
Yeah.
got there I think 20 minutes before the gates even opened or something like that. We tried to get there as early as possible and we booked it and the grandstand was already full by the time we got there.
Yeah, like
So
we were just barely off of getting on the grandstand. It was so disappointing.
that's fine. So I honestly feel like maybe if tickets were done for grandstands, it would just be an easier way to like realize, okay, I didn't get a ticket for it, whatever.
Well, not
I'll
even
just move
that,
on
but like
instead of
why
just
would they not just do another lottery and be like, well, you since you won the ticket lottery and you're getting
you
the
can
tickets, here's another lottery that you can enter for an upcharge if they want to do it that way.
yeah,
And just be like, you get reserved seating the entire weekend. Like, just make it a little
yeah,
bit more affordable, because you can't guarantee, like, with general admissions, as we saw this past weekend, but
yeah,
I'm sure that there are ways to curb it, like, if so people don't complain about it. And I also do feel like there were definitely multiple other spots where they could have put more grandstands on.
yeah.
So, but
The, there was some good options, but I just feel like they were just like, we're gonna do these three, and like two of them were right next to each other too. So
yeah.
it
Yeah,
wasn't
it wasn't
like,
like
oh well,
one
we're gonna put
continuous
them all in
grid.
different areas. That did irritate me a little. I'm not gonna lie, because like you were really like it was really like we stayed up planning how we were gonna take the metro, what time we needed to leave so we could get there in time to stand in line so that we can maybe hopefully book it in time to the grandstand and nothing.
But
And
at
then
least
a
we
little
weren't
I
part of
think
that group where their security ended up holding them up and not letting them across. So at least we weren't
look
part of
guys,
that.
if Secret Service is going to be there at an event, don't be stupid. Just
That
don't
too.
like
The
that
blatant
I got stuck
disrespect
behind.
that I saw
Yeah,
towards the security people, it's like, but you knew Trump was gonna be there. You knew, like,
be
he's
there.
the
Yeah.
president of the United States. Of course, they're gonna have heightened security. Don't fight with
Yeah.
them. Don't make rude comments. They're just trying to
Yeah.
do their
Doing
job.
their job. Like I get yesterday they were more kind of like chill with what you could bring in and stuff. But Sunday, if the president's gonna be there, security's gonna be tight. I even got stopped by security because the button on my pants was going off, and I knew that. I was like, "Go ahead, check whatever you gotta do, so I can get in here sooner than later." But the guy in front of me who was getting checked, I think he had a vape and one other thing, and they were just like, "You can't bring that in. Like, I'm sorry, you just can't." And he was giving them like help for it, and I was just like, it's not a big deal. Just they
Just
even
comply.
said it like the day they even gave out pre-information about, hey, Sunday the president's going to be there, so be very cautious about what you bring in with you because they're going to be very tight on what you can bring in. And I don't know, that irritated me, the disrespect, because look, they don't want to be there. They don't want to have to deal with y'all. Trust me, I know. And
We learned.
you're just gonna give them you're gonna give them blatant disrespect. And they were everywhere too, and for good reason. And I there was people giving them a hard time because they were in the museums too. But you can still get into a museum without being there for the race if you just do it just right. And so leaving the museum, they're gonna want to check your stuff. Like, it's fine. Get over it. You'll be okay. So that was an issue too, what irritated me. And then because with Secret Service being there, it kind of backed up the the line to get into the race. It caused some kind of slow movement. And that was because of all the people who decided to argue with Secret Service. Yes, I'm talking about y'all. If you had just gone through like you should have, raised your hands, let them do their thing, we would have gotten in sooner. But no, you decided to argue with
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I personally felt like I heard multiple negative comments towards the race happening and people being like, well, give us our town back. Like, this is not
Yeah,
okay.
that irritated me. I'm like, I get it, it definitely caused some traffic issues. It might have made it harder for you to go to work. but y'all were in the race. So did you want to be there or did you not want to be there? And to the people who worked it, I get it. Trust me, the people around us irritated me too. But, and I know they frustrated y'all. But also, you didn't have to work it. You didn't have to go to it. I'm just saying. I think it would be cool if there was an IndyCar race in my town. Would it irritate me a little to have to get to work a different way than I usually do? Yeah, it will. But will I complain about it?
Well, not even
Not
that,
really,
but
because
I don't know if you heard this, but the worker at the Smithsonian was like, "Yeah, well, these people that are coming in for the race don't even want to come into the buildings. Like, why are we doing it? Why are we staying open?" And it's like, well, people will still come in, and I'm pretty sure I saw loads of people in the Smithsonian buying Smithsonian merch, checking out the
yeah,
exhibits, like,
the art gallery was busy when I went in. Like there's people going in and out like crazy. So I don't know.
it's
It was an interesting weekend full of attitudes.
Yeah, I honestly cannot wait to see more of the numbers. I know that they released some preliminary numbers and they said that on Saturday, and this is just for IndyCar merch, that they sold just under $1 million in merch. So,
Yeah, I bet because they took 100 from me. Um, I don't know. I think it was a great race. I think it has its issues that if they do it again, they need to fix said issues. At least try to
right,
the
well,
best they
and
can.
they only planned this in 7 months, and typically it takes more
Yeah,
than 7 months to plan it. So, for it being 7 months, it was very
I
well
think it
done
went
for
well.
only having 7 months
Yeah,
planning.
I think they put in as much effort and like the way they were promoting it, the things they did for it, like it was a good race setup. It's just like there's always going to be things that you can improve from. Always going to be something like that. Work related, everything is going to have somewhere where you can improve. And I think they know their flaws, hopefully, and they'll recover from this if they decide to do it again or if they decide to do it somewhere else. Like they have an idea. But the fact that they did it in such a short time and with the resources they had, and I didn't really see any of the racers complaining. Like they all looked like they had a blast. I mean, there probably wasn't some things they wanted to do, but they all looked like they weren't mad about it. So, I mean, from a racer stance, they looked like they had a blast. That's all I'm saying. I just think people don't know how to have fun anymore.
Well, that too.
Apparently. The food was great though, I will say. For the money I had to put down for food, and I saw someone eating from the barbecue place, which I really wish I had gone there, and I'm so mad that I didn't. But the barbecue looked great. So whoever tried it while they were there, let me know in the comments if you liked it, because I love barbecue. Like any type. Like if you had the sausage, if you had the barbecue, if you had like let me know because I'm really depressed that I didn't get any.
You could have
But
gotten some.
I know, but I was also taught don't eat barbecue when it's hot outside, like really hot, because it
Oh,
will
yeah.
mess you up. So I should have just gotten it the day before, but the line
Yeah,
was so big. It's okay. I'll be fine. I had my first Shake Shack that day and Five
I
Guys.
love Shake Shack.
Shake
So
Shack was good. But anyways, besides the point, this weekend, you will definitely see our vlog. I have to edit it. It's just today. I'm running like on zero sleep, really. Like I still haven't fully recovered from this weekend, so it's gonna be a couple of days. I'm gonna probably work on it over the span of a couple days because I'll have to do some voiceover and
so
figure out how
hopefully
I
by
took
next
so many.
week is what you're saying.
Yes, yeah, yeah. It will be done maybe by this weekend actually because I do want to get it done.
But we are just gonna wrap this up with our radar points. So last week I had the Premier League starting up again. We saw some good games there. And then Julie had the Freedom 250, which we just talked about. And honestly, it was a great race. I'm so happy that Kyle won, and
I
watching him
know he
pull
really
out those
deserved it.
laps, I was like, dang, this is a Max Verstappen kind of drive here. And
Yes.
it was just amazing to see. and the fact that we got to see it live makes it even better. Can't say the same for Paddle, unfortunately. That was the one downside.
Okay.
It's fine. I'm doing fine.
It's okay. It just fits with the way we get dealt the McLaren hand.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point because look out for our phone.
This week I have Bayern versus Stuttgart. It's the opening weekend of the Bundesliga. And what more could we ask for? We already won the Super Cup against Dortmund 2-1. That was great. Bayern's game versus Stuttgart will be Friday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have Leipzig versus Gladbach, and that will be Saturday at 9:30, I believe, Eastern Time. Also on Friday, we have the Premier League playing. They are back again as well. We have Crystal Palace versus Man City. And then on Monday, we have Arsenal versus Aston Villa.
Okay, I have the the Milwaukee Mile. It's the Snap-on Makers and Fixtures 250 Grand Prix, and that is August 29th at 2:30. I think that's correct. It might be 3:30, but you can double check that. I can't
Guess we'll
remember.
find out.
So yeah, I just figured I would stay on the IndyCar train. Because why not? I'm on a high. Maybe we'll have a good weekend, which the last winner for that was Rasmussen? Yeah, Rasmussen. Christian.
Oh, well, yeah, because
2015.
he pulled out that phenomenal win last year. That was
Mm-hmm.
crazy. I don't think he'll do it again. I don't think he's made too many people happy this past weekend. Namely Rinus VK, but you know.
But yeah, that was a good one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was interesting to make, but keep a lookout for the vlog. It'll have a more detailed experience of our trip. It will show videos that I took a lot. I think that's like the biggest thing right now is I'm like, how am I gonna put all these videos in here? Or like, what videos do I use? That's the real question. So wish me luck on that part.
You'll also
So
get
don't
to
forget to
meet
like
our friend Meg, who
Meg.
was
Mm-hmm.
kind enough to join us at the race
Yeah,
and bear with us as we got excited watching
freaked
our
out.
room.
So yeah, keep a lookout for that. And don't forget to I already said that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. There we go. I was like, I know I'm forgetting something. Comment if you went to the race or comment if you watched the race. Maybe you saw us, maybe you didn't. You probably didn't, but that's okay. We do live streams. It probably won't be till next month though, because we already did a live stream before we left for the race. So just keep a lookout for that next month. And then check out our links in the description below for our other social media pages. We'll post when we're live streaming. And we'll do some more posts probably about the race, so keep a lookout for that. And then we'll probably do some posts on our Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. So just keep a lookout for that as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this.
We do have one already up that I posted earlier this afternoon, so you can go check that out.
Oh yeah, please do. Hope you liked it.